No CEO, no storefront, no team photos. And yet some companies pull in hundreds of millions, even billions, using near-zero staff. These are faceless brands, built on automation, AI content, and rented logistics. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how they make money, who really owns them, and why this matters to markets and policy. We'll break down their playbook, product, traffic, fulfillment, and scale. I'll give you 3 signals that show when a faceless brand is a sustainable business, and 3 red flags that mean it's just a paper empire. No fluff, pure economics. So what are faceless brands? They're businesses that outsource or automate every public function: product sourcing, marketing, content, customer support, and distribution. Often, they live as storefronts on marketplaces like Amazon or as SEO and ad funnels that convert traffic into sales, all without a visible founder. Think about it. A storefront directs you to an ad funnel, which sends your order to a third-party logistics center, and then the product arrives at your door. You never see who's behind it all. They run on 4 stacked automations. First, product sourcing. These brands buy private label or white label items in bulk from third-party suppliers, often overseas. They don't invent anything, they just brand it. Second, demand generation. They use AI-written ads, automated bidding on platforms like Google and Facebook, and high-velocity A/B testing to find what works fast. Third, fulfillment. They use third-party logistics, or 3PLs, and dropshipping, so they never have to touch inventory or manage a warehouse team. And finally, scaling. They reinvest ad profits, clone winning products or SKS, and just rinse and repeat the entire process. It's a machine built for speed. Initially, the margins can look huge. This is because variable costs are outsourced and capital expenditure is incredibly low. You don't need to build a factory or hire a big team. But to forces quickly compress those returns. First, rising ad costs. As competition scales and more faceless brands enter the market, the cost to acquire a customer skyrockets. Second, supply chain fragility. These brands are often at the mercy of their suppliers. When input costs spike or shipping gets delayed, their margins get crushed. Faceless brands win on speed, not durability. So, who really benefits from this model, and who loses out? The winners are pretty clear: the platform owners like Amazon and Shopify, the third-party logistics companies, the ad networks like Google and Meta, and the investors who bundle these brands together into roll-ups and flip them. The losers? Long-tail manufacturers with thin pricing power who get squeezed on costs. Consumers who often face inconsistent product quality. And customer service and local retail stores that simply can't compete with this kind of micropricing and global scale. But not all faceless brands are built on sand. There are signals of sustainability you can look for. I call them the 3 green flags. First, look for product differentiation. Do they have a proprietary design or some kind of intellectual property? That creates a real barrier to entry. Second, diversified traffic. Are they building owned channels like an email list or a strong social media following with repeat customers? Or are they just living off paid ads? And third, supply chain control. Do they own their SKS or have exclusive contracts with suppliers? If a brand has these 3 things, it's not just a flea market flip. It might be a real, sustainable business. On the other side, there are some serious red flags that tell you a faceless brand is a bubble waiting to pop. The first is single-channel traffic, meaning they rely almost exclusively on paid ads. One algorithm change, and they're gone. Another is opaque supplier links. If you can't tell where their products are coming from, there's a risk of quality and ethical issues. Also, watch out for aggressive, constant discounting and a heavy reliance on marketplace ranking tricks. These businesses are fragile and can collapse overnight when ad costs rise or a marketplace changes its policies. This is where regulators and investors start paying attention. Regulators will get involved when these models cause systematic consumer harm or when they re-seen to be gaming marketplaces unfairly. Investors will get nervous when the roll-ups they've funded start chasing top-line growth with falling unit economics, meaning they're spending more to acquire each dollar of revenue. The result could be faster consolidation or new regulations, both of which will change the financial returns dramatically. So if you want to follow just one metric to understand the health of these businesses, watch customer retention and their owned audience. If it's weak, the empire is just a veneer. But if it's strong, the empire might be real. Owned audience equals real value. So which signal worries you the most about this model? The ad collapse, the supplier shock, or incoming regulation? Comment 1, 2, or 3 below, and I'll pin the best answers. And don't forget to subscribe for more daily explainers where business, policy, and tech collide. Thanks for watching.